Hi guys, it is April from Getting Huggo With It. Today we're doing another Konmari with me. I have 34 books that we're going to go through right now. I think this might be the most amount of books that I've done in this series. I'm nervous. Let's get into it before I decide against it. So if you haven't been watching on my channel, I've been doing this little series called Konmari with me. Essentially, I'm using the Marie Kondo method where you take items in your home and you keep the stuff that sparks joy and you get rid of the rest, and I'm applying it to my bookshelves. So the rules for myself are I have to dwindle it down to 20 per shelf. I can keep 2 and put them on the limbo pile. If I go over 20 for my shelf, I have to go over to the limbo pile and declutter there. With 34, I have no idea how this is gonna go. I can be ruthless sometimes, but that's a lot of books to get rid of and be ruthless about. So today, the shelf we're looking at is lots of self-help and also lots of parenting books. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I have been like on the ball with this Konmari with me method video series. So much so that I am filming this in August and you are watching this in March if I've stuck to my schedule properly. So I at this point haven't even had my baby yet. So I don't know how this is gonna go later, whether I'll keep stuff that later I'll be like, that was not worthwhile to me. I don't know. We will see, but I thought I should give you a heads up because so much of this is parenting books that, yeah. All right, let's just begin. First up is The Whole 9 Months, a week-by-week pregnancy nutrition guide with recipes for a healthy start. I forgot that I had this. I bought this during my first pregnancy, which, as you know, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, I had a miscarriage. And I think I put all of the books that I had bought for that first pregnancy like way back in the back of my bookshelves where I couldn't see them a lot just because it was so emotional for me. Now, I think I just want to get rid of this because, well, literally at this moment, at the end of my 3rd trimester, like full term. So it didn't help in the end because I forgot that it existed. I'm just going to get rid of it. Someone else will be able to get a lot of use out of this, I'm sure. Next up is Get a Life, His and Her Survival Guide to IVF. Barry got this for us a while ago. Unfortunately, I think we forgot about this as well when we were going through the IVF process. I did read it a little bit before we did IVF, like well before, like maybe months before. And I think I ended up knowing a lot of this. It's very like basics, what you're going to go through. But I also think it's a really great resource to have for people who are just told, you know, IVF is probably the way you're going to have to go and want like a 101 on it. This would be really great for that. So I am going to give it away. Maybe I'll give it away to someone who is about to go on the IVF journey. But yeah, I will probably give this one away. Next up is, it's not a book, it's a manual that Quebec, the province of Quebec, gives away to people when they've just had babies. I think it's a great idea. It's called From Tiny Tot to Toddler. So this is back from my sister when she gave birth to my nephew Vincent. I'm going to get rid of this because I think I can find a lot of this online. Moreover, things change so often, like with what you should or should not feed your baby. They change that all the time. Sometimes they say, don't ever feed them peanut butter too early. Or eat peanut butter when you're breastfeeding, and then they'll change it to do that or they'll get peanut allergies. So anyway, I'm going to get rid of this because I just like to have the current information, and this is at this point 4 years old. nearly 5. So I'm gonna pass this along and that'll be that. Okay, baby wise. This is about sleep training your children. I know a lot of people feel very badly about sleep training, and some of them are pro, and there's lots of pros and cons. This is like a kind of more rigorous sleep training method. I think there is Cry It Out in here. That said, I still want to read this. So I'm going to keep Baby Wise because it's like the foundation, I believe, of sleep training, and I'm interested in it, so I'm keeping this. Similarly, this is Bedtiming, the when-to guide to helping your child to sleep. I'm going to keep this too for the same reasons. Last one about sleep training is the Sleep Easy Solution, the Exhausted Parent's Guide to Getting Your Child to Sleep from Birth to Age 5. I kind of like that this goes a little further on and talks about, you know, like your 4-year-old and their sleep issues instead of just babies. So I'm going to keep this. Next is a book that my mom gave to me, and it's What to Expect in the First Year. And it goes month by month of what you could be running into. I'm going to keep this tentatively. I'm not putting it on the limbo pile because I would like to look at it sooner than later. And I just think that it could be helpful, but I'm not sure that it will be truthfully super helpful. I've got lots of other books as well that kind of touch on the similar things, but I'm going to keep it just in case it is a lifesaver when the time comes. Breastfeeding Solutions. This is written by a lactation consultant, and I am absolutely keeping this. I'm really excited about it, actually. My 2 favorite books that are about parenting and pregnancy are Expecting Better and Crib Sheet by Emily Oster. This is the science of pregnancy and the science of the first, you know, couple of years of life with children. There's so many things that go around where this thing worked for one person and that thing worked for the other, and this takes all of that and throws it out the window because they are only looking at the science, which I really appreciate. Kind of cuts through the din, if that makes sense, in the parenting world. So I'm keeping these 100%. Now these next 3 are not mine. They are from my work. I borrowed them from work. And I'm going to obviously keep them. So I've got Active Baby, Healthy Brain, The Wonder Weeks, and Baby's First Year Milestones. I'm keeping them all because I need them for work, and I think they'll be really helpful too. Next up are 2 by Cameron Diaz. These changed my opinion of Cameron Diaz. I never used to really love her before, and then I read these books and I was like, huh, I kind of like her now. So there's the longevity book and also the body book. And I just really loved her perspective about loving your body and taking care of your body. It's like very non-judgmental in its approach, and I just really, really liked it, and I liked her. So I'm gonna keep these. This is a random one slipped in here. It's A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. I should probably keep this in my like biography section, I guess. I, of course, am going to keep this book. This is like one of the first, maybe not the first feminist books, but it's a quintessential pioneering feminist book about what women need and should have a right to, and autonomy. And I mean, it's a classic. I read this many moons ago. It's only 100-ish pages. I should probably read this again soon. So I'm keeping this 100%. And now we're getting into a lot of self-help stuff. So we've got Creating a Charmed Life by Victoria Moran. I really, really love these little books. These books helped me through some depression and some sad times in my life. And it was really about finding little pockets in your life and finding little things that can boost you up and when you apply these things, it really can make a difference in your life. I'm not saying if you're depressed, read this and you'll feel like a million times better. You might need actual medication. But for me, this did help a bit, along with therapy and, you know, a bunch of stuff, but it really did make a difference. So I'm keeping this. Similarly, she's written a lot of books. This is Lit from Within, and this is about how to, you know, boost your soul, basically. I'm keeping this as well just because I just like having these around and flipping through them every once in a while. And then there is Fit from Within, and this is about healthy living and moving your body, and I am keeping it again. I loved this. Oh my gosh. We Should All Be Feminists. I think everyone should read this. I think this should be a necessity for everyone to read. I loved this book. It's the tiniest, tiny little book, less than 50 pages, but it packs such a punch and it's such an important book that of course I'm keeping it. And then of course we've got The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is an important book to my dad. I am going to keep it because it does, when you're able to put this into action in your life, which is really hard to do, it definitely helps. So I'm going to keep it. I'm keeping so many. Oh no. Next up is The Mastery of Love. I don't think I need this. I think I'm going to get rid of this. Don't kill me, Dad. I'm going to get rid of it. Oh my gosh. This book. I need to reread it. The Gifts of Imperfection. Let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are. This is by Brené Brown. My therapist recommended this book to me, and it blew me away. This is about vulnerability, but it's also about what people who are, you know, incredibly strong, how they live their lives, basically, what they do in their lives to continue to be that way. And they might still have gone through a lot, but are able to get through it because of their perspective. Oh, it's such a good one. I am definitely keeping this. The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts by Gary Chapman. This is kind of a classic marital self-help book. We read this together, Barry and I, before we got married. We got married at the United Church by a wonderful, wonderful minister who we had classes with before we got married, and it was just us and him, and he was just wonderful, and he suggested reading this. And so we did get to know each other a little bit more by learning about our love languages, and I really liked it, so I'm going to keep this. Anatomy of the Spirit is about the chakras and stuff, and this is not for me. It's just not for me. I'm going to let it go. How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran. Is it Caitlin Moran or Caitlin? I'm pretty sure it's Caitlin. This is such a great feminist book. I really enjoyed it. It's hilarious. I listened to it on audio and I just loved every second of it, so I'm going to keep this. The Female Brain is next, and I think I want to keep this. This literally talks about how women's brains work, and it talks about how they work from infancy all the way to, you know, old age. And yeah, I think I would like to keep this because it's fascinating for myself. It'll be fascinating for my daughter. So I want to keep this one. Big Magic is another one that I really did enjoy. It's by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it is about the creativity process and, you know, going all out even when you're afraid of doing it. I want to keep this. I also think I might want to put it on my limbo shelf because I've read it already and enjoyed it, but do I really need it in my life still? I don't know. Do Your Om Thing. This is about yoga. I don't think I need this. I like yoga. but I don't know if I need to read a whole book about yoga, so I'm gonna let this go. The Art of Pleasure is definitely an interesting book by the Dalai Lama. I find the way that he writes his books a little like, they're not to the point. They're kind of all over the place, and then they will get to the point. What are my bangs doing in this moment? So I'm gonna let this go just because I got stuff out of it, but I don't know, it just wasn't clear cut enough for me, so I'm gonna let this one go. I'm gonna touch on these very quickly because they're slightly embarrassing. I've never shown anyone that I have these books. I don't think Barry even knows I have these books. Passionista, The Empowered Woman's Guide to Pleasuring a Man. And She Comes First, The Thinking Man's Guide to Pleasuring a Woman. Gonna keep those. So embarrassing. I just showed those to the world. Okay. The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zizek. This is a book that apparently changed Oprah Winfrey's life. I've read two Gary Zizek's and I've really liked them. I don't know if I will learn anything new from this, but maybe I will. Ooh, okay, I think what I'll do is put this on the limbo pile. So I've only gotten rid of 7 books so far. I have 2 for my limbo shelf. I need to get rid of 5 more. How am I going to do this? Do I go to my limbo shelf and look through? I might go through these books again and decide what I really need and what I don't need. Oh, I hate this. Why is it so hard? Okay, I need to assess something. Do these 3 count? I don't think they do. They're not mine. They're my work. So that's 3 that I can take off of the 5 more that I need because they're not mine. They're not staying on these shelves. Okay, so it's just 2. It's just 2. Okay, I think I've decided to just get rid of The Seat of the Soul. I know it helped Oprah a lot, but I think I've got these other 2 that really helped me, and I just think that's all I need. And then I think I'm also going to get rid of Lit from Within by Victoria Moran. I have so many of her books, and this is my least favorite, I think. So I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, and then I have 2 for my limbo pile, and it's How to Be a Woman and Big Magic. Oh my gosh, I did it. How did this happen? Because I kind of cheated with the 3 that are from my work. It's not cheating though. It's not cheating, right? It's not. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. These are hard. When you have shelves that are so jam-packed, it is enormously difficult to do this. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you saw a book that I kept that you were like, why? Why did you do that, April? I would love to know what your thoughts are. I will talk with you soon. Bye, guys.